Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our conjunction video of the week. And today we're going to be covering our conjunction of Sun, Mars, Saturn, and Rahu. Oh man. We're going to be covering the conjunction of 4 top malefic planets in the world of astrology. Because Sun is considered a malefic. Mild malefic, but it's a very hot malefic. It'll burn you to a crispy critter. That's how mild it is. You got Mars as a malefic planet, Saturn is a malefic planet, and Rahu is a malefic planet. Okay, so we're going to discuss this. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this conjunction, where your conjunction is placed, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, my books, reports, consultations at this link, including the new nakshatra reading at this link. And I know. Shh. Don't say it. I already know. And it's going to happen. Okay? I will make Jupiter transit for each ascendant on my second channel. Yes, I already know it. It's going to happen. Because right after I film this video, I'm going to film that particular video, which hopefully will be up by tomorrow. Okay? So, what do we see with this 4 planetary conjunction? Well, first of all, what is the Sun? Father, authorities, government, part of your personality, soul. Okay, those are the main thing that it represents. Politics. Then you have Mars, which represents soldier, fighter, athlete, represents sharp objects, violence, accidents, technology, engineering, siblings. Then you have Saturn, which represents paternal uncles, servants, subordinates, working class people, beggars, mechanical things, things which take time. Then you have Rahu, new age technology, magic, photography. It is addiction, drugs, illusion, the film industry. Rahu has its own set of, list of rules that we can put out there. But when these 4 planets come, first thing you will see is that very, very hard relationship between the native and their father, the native and authorities, the native and subordinates, native and their co-workers, native and their friends, native and their siblings. This is a very tough relationship. Like, this is a type of person you'll probably find being quite a reserved loner, especially if this occurs in like Aradhara Nakshatra, Jyeshtha Nakshatra, Sattavishak Nakshatra. That is just like, with closed eyes you can say that. This is a person that just is bringing a heavy dose of, past life karmas to deal with such things. Okay? This is a person that naturally gravitate towards things like technology, engineering, going into army, police officer. But when they're police officer, or if you think they're a police officer, remember, the crime world is not far behind. It's a fine line. It's a very fine line, which you have to see with the nakshatra that they're placed in, that is this person inclined towards more of malevolent activities or benevolent activities. You have to see the house that it occurs in. But there's a very fine line, and even in being a police officer, they could find themselves, being lured and tempted towards the other side. I mean, there's a lot of police officers on payroll of all kinds of organizations. I mean, in India, it's just like, I'm sure it's like out there. You know, all the other countries is pretty much out there. Even in US, I'm sure it's out there. But in like some of the older generational countries like China, India, you know, Russia, Australia, there's a heavy dose of it, because over time, a lot of people accumulate. You got to understand, after a certain point, it's very hard to control a set of people. Even US is going to go that way at one point. I mean, imagine when you have 1 billion people in US living. It's going to be hard to just control, make everything pure. Although right now, we are in the transition of a better quality of yug, Drap yug, the yug of energy. This is also the person that finds it very hard to take orders from other people. They are much better off being self-employed, working from themselves, or they should be in a work where they're left alone. Like, for example, you get hired by a company. But what is your job? Your job is to be a night watchman in a graveyard. Your job is to be a funeral director. Your job is to be a mortician. Sure, you got hired by a company, but nobody's going to be there watching you. Most of them don't want to be with you. They're just going to be there. You're going to be with a dead body, and you're going to be having to clean it, doing everything. I mean, man, you know, sometimes I think about that. It's very interesting the type of nakshatra it takes on a person's mind for them to do it. You know how much brave you have to be? How high of Ashtak Varga points you must have in your 3rd house and your 8th house for you to deal and be fascinated with death or night or graveyard. Definitely there's a nakshatra, I forgot which nakshatra it is, of people who like to be around graveyard. Either it's Jyeshta nakshatra or Purvashada. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of those two. Definitely this could also, you could have had, you know, fist fights with your father or authoritative figures. Naturally, these are the people that must be physically active. If they're not, and let's say this conjunction aspects moon, or even there's a 5 planetary conjunction with the moon, I mean, they can really lash out to a point where they don't even know what they're doing, and they'll keep hitting a person. They have to, like, it's very important for them to run, exhaust that energy, because here Mars is with Rahu, and with its the commanding army Saturn. Mars are like war zone. You have Sun, the hot planet, all these energies within you. So much pitta, without even being in any sign, there's so much pitta here that you have to keep going, keep taking the energy out. So physical exercise is extremely important. And the thing is, these people cannot live without physical exercise. They have to run. They have to do something every other day or every day to get that, you know, to exhaust that energy. And these are the people that can either be extremely brave, you know, like a mortician or somebody in the graveyard, or they might just be the biggest wuss out there. They don't want to deal with any confrontation. They don't want to deal with anything. They want to seclude somewhere isolated where they don't have to deal with trouble. Why? Because here Sun has the ability to combust all the planets. Combust especially Mars and Saturn. But here's another thing. Rahu has the ability to eclipse the Sun. And this is where the personality, you know, has a hard time understanding who it is. What am I? Am I this good guy, this bad guy, this neutral guy? You know, am I this, soldier? Am I this clever businessman? Who am I? So this particular conjunction creates that. But especially if your 5th lord is somehow connected with this conjunction, or one of them are fifth lords, most easily we can see that this is a person who's going to be in engineering. Most likely like bridges, mining, engineering. But mostly, especially in the 6th house, 8th house can create policemen, surgeons, detectives. Like, it's all about, this conjunction is all about exerting your energy towards something. That's the main thing. It's about exerting your energy towards something, whether it's beating somebody up like an athlete, whether it's going after a criminal with a gun, whether it's shooting somebody for even pleasure, or it's running, exercising. That energy needs to be exerted. But when they are determined to, let's say, serve the government, serve the public interest, they will die for the public. That's how strongly adamant they become. And father either could be a great government servant, a great politician, or a very cunning person. That again you will see with the nakshatra and the sign placement of these planets and the pada that they're in. Okay. So guys, this was my explanation of Sun, Mars, Saturn, Rahu conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you don't know where your conjunction is, all my books, reports, consultations, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.